Hey guys, welcome to ChamPanZ Percussion. If you're new to this channel, welcome, and we're so excited to have you join us. Today, we're going to be talking about accent, tenutos, and taps. So, all three of these words mean something different whenever you're playing your instrument. But before we get into this, we want to make sure that we have a deep understanding of our stick heights. If you haven't checked out my video on stick heights and dynamics, please check it out so that way you have an understanding on how we're going to be playing these stick heights. So let's now identify what each one of these three words means. So a tap. All a tap means is that you have a note with only a dynamic, or sometimes you might not even have a dynamic. But the way that you know that this is a tap is by looking at the note and noticing that there is no symbol above the note. If there's no symbol, that is going to be called a tap. Now let's talk about the next one that we're going to see. We're going to talk about an accent. An accent is going to be your greater than symbol that is going to be placed above a note. All that means is that you're going to be playing this note a little bit more stronger. And in fact, I like to say that you're going to be playing two dynamics louder than your tap volume. So let's say, for example, we're playing piano. Two dynamics above piano is going to be mezzo forte. The reason it's mezzo forte is because you have piano. Above from piano, you have mezzo piano. And the next dynamic up from there is mezzo forte. So that is your accent volume. Now, the last one that we're going to be working on is going to be called your tenuto. A tenuto is right in between an accent and a tap. And so the symbol that you will see for a tenuto is going to be a dash above the note. So that line right there is a dash, and that means tenuto. So this tenuto, all that means is you're just one dynamic above your tap. You don't have to go two dynamics like your accent, just one dynamic up. So that's a slight accent. And so let's go back to our piano. Let's say that we start off on piano. One dynamic above piano is going to be your mezzo piano. That is one dynamic above. And so whenever you have a tenuto, that's what you're going to do. Just go up one dynamic. Let's review. Your accent is two dynamics louder, and your tenuto is one dynamic louder. Does that make sense? All you're going to do is adjust your dynamic by one or two depending on what symbol you have. Alright, so now that we know each one of these, let's practice a few exercises. Let's look at an exercise called 9-3. I wrote this exercise a few years back to help my students learn how to play accents and taps. So, just like the name of this exercise, we're going to be playing 9 inches and 3 inches. Your accented notes are going to be 9, or if you want to think of that in dynamic terms, that's going to be a mezzo forte. And then your taps are going to be 3 inches, or your piano. So we're going to be going from 9 inches to 3 inches. Let's go ahead and try this exercise. 1, 2, ready, go. Let's try that again. Ready, go, and. So now let me give you a little tip that's going to help you play that even more successfully. Whenever you get to your 9 inches, you want to make sure that you're using more fingers and wrist. And whenever you get to your 3 inches, you want to make sure that you eliminate a little bit more fingers and use more wrist. So you use more fingers whenever you're at the higher dynamic, and you use less fingers whenever you're at softer dynamics. Let's go ahead and try that again. 1, 2, ready, go. Awesome. So that is your 9 and 3 exercise. So now let's move on to the next exercise. We're going to be doing a similar exercise, but we're going to call it something different. We're going to call it 6-3. So with 6-3, we're only going to be going up one dynamic. Our two dynamics are going to be mezzo piano and then piano. So your tenuto notes are going to be your mezzo piano, which is just up one dynamic. So we're going to be doing this. 6, then switch over to 3, and then we're going to do the same thing off the left hand. 6, and 3. Okay, let's put this into context. Let's go ahead and play 6-3. 1, 2, ready, go. Let's try that one more time. 1, 2, ready, go. So whenever we're doing this exercise, you want to use more wrist and less fingers. These dynamics are pretty low, so you won't be using a lot of fingers. Now, I'm not saying eliminate all the fingers. You can still use your fingers. You need to make sure that you're nice and relaxed. And in fact, your fingers are guiders. They're not grabbers. So nice and relaxed, but you will be using more wrist. That's where you're going to notice where most of the motion is coming from. Let's go ahead and try that exercise just one more time. 1, 2, ready, go. So that is your 6-3 exercise. From there, we can build up to another exercise. Our next exercise that you can look at is your bucks exercise. Now, bucks, all that is referring to is your accent and taps. So you're going back and forth between an accent and tap, just like this. And then you would do it off your left hand like this. So now that we're back at accents for our bucks exercise, we're going to be going back to 9 and 3 inches. So find your 9 inches right here. Then you're going to be coming down to 3 inches right here. Then you're going to do the same thing off your left hand and then off your right. Let's go ahead and practice that with the metronome, our bucks exercise. 1, 2, ready, go, and... Let's do that again. Make sure you're still using your fingers whenever you're at your 9 inches and more wrist whenever you're in your taps. 1, 2, ready, go, and... Alright, so that is your bucks exercise with an accent and tap. The next variation you can do with this is a tenuto and a tap. So it's still called bucks, but we're switching the accent to a tenuto. We're only going up one dynamic. So we're now going to do 6 and 3, which will look like this. And then you'll do that off the left hand. So as you can tell, that is just a slight accent and is not very loud. Let's go ahead and try that together. 1, 2, ready, go, and. Let's try that again. Make sure you're still using the similar motion. Less fingers and more wrist. 1, 2, ready, go, and. Awesome, so that is your bucks exercise with tenutos. Now you can do both of these exercises with any sort of combination of accent and tap. But remember, you gotta make sure that whenever you're doing an accent, you're 2 dynamics louder, or whenever you have a tenuto, you're just 1 dynamic higher. So for example, you could do the same thing with 9 and 15 for an accent and a tap, or 9 and 12 for an accent and tenuto, or any other type of combination. Just follow the rule of 1 dynamic higher for a tenuto and 2 dynamics higher for an accent. Well guys, that's all I have for today. Now if you still have any other questions on how to play accents, tenutos, and taps, please comment below. Now if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to keep up to date on any new videos I will be posting. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to have fun.